You know what you get when you mix an old lady with Harley Quinn? Well, you just get old lady Harley. Stay tuned, fans. Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, yes, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about Old Lady Harley, issue 1. That's right, fans. This is a 5-issue miniseries coming out of the pages of Harley Quinn as it featured Old Lady Harley, I think back in issue 42. And, I wasn't going to get this book, but then I was like, I want to see what they do with this. Like, what's this story about? So I decided to go out, read it, and see if I'll continue to read the rest of the 4 issues, okay? First things first is this book is written by Frank Thierry, is the writer, and Annika Miranda is the actual artist in this book. I think the artwork is pretty good in this issue. For as old as Harley should be in this series, I think she looks quite well. I think that she should look a little older looking, especially in the interior artwork of this book. She has the body of like a 20-year-old. She still looks exactly the same, except a couple wrinkles up top. But otherwise, she looks good and her hair is shaven. When you have the flashbacks in this issue, I think this is where the art shined the most. We get to see her leaving town, and it comes into this black and white flashback with red dialogue boxes. At that point in time, that's when the artwork was at its best. So there's times where this artwork is really good, and then there's other times where it's good. It's good. It's not bad. Okay? So what does this story have to offer for its readers? Okay? First things first is we're decades into the future. Not sure what the year is, but we get to see this broadcast from Cat Grant, and she's like clones of each other, okay? She's broadcasting all over the world, and we have the Legion of Doom, who's pretty much taken over Mexico, and I think it's called like Lexico, and Bizarro is like Secretary of State, and all kinds of crazy things. There's a zombie virus going around. And so the beginning of this issue really showed a lot of promise for me, because I was like, oh wow, this is showing a world that's desolate, that's being taken over by the supervillains. You have a lot of things going on here that they show you very briefly. And then what happens is the book, for me, starts going a little bit downhill after they get to the point of why Harley Quinn leaves. And so we get to see that she had issues with the Penguin in the book, and she left because of the actions that she did to the Penguin, which was she killed him, she strangled him to death. Okay, and then you get to see the flashbacks of the last time, how she saw the Joker and how she left her Harley gang and things like that. At that point, for me, I felt like the book dropped right after that point, okay? Because then you go into this point, she's with Red Tool, who is her companion, who's the ripoff of a Deadpool, and they start fighting all these, like, weird creatures, man. They start fighting these weird, off-the-wall squids. They wind up wanting to go back to Gotham, and whatnot, and there's a lot of humor, but for me, I just didn't feel like the humor hit it out of the park. I felt like the humor was forced. There was a lot of TV references in this book. You get the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. They have Westworld references in there and things like that. But I just didn't find that it was necessary. They just like almost overdone it for me and whatnot. You get these weird and crazy creatures that are thrown at them and whatnot. And by the time you wind up getting to the end of this book, we wind up seeing Harley and Red Tool. They wind up going, and they go into this weird, the way Gotham is now, it's completely different. It's like, it almost looks like it's it's cleaned up. There's this curfew, and there's Azrael robots coming around, and they're doing battle against Harley and Red Tool as well, which was kind of cool, but they waste a lot of panel time with that. And I felt like it was already stalling within this first issue where I really didn't find that it was necessary. But by the time we get to the end of it, it actually leaves you with a cool cliffhanger, because they go to the Batcave, and not only do they see Batman in the Batcave, it's not him, it's actually Batman Beyond. So this is how far future you are within this, and it was a cool artwork page at the end. And god dang it, just because of that cliffhanger, I'm like, well, now I need to read some more, because I'm hopeful that in this world, that they show how it was taken over by Lex or the Legion of Doom, and go into more depth about that, where obviously it was about Harley and leaving in her dark place, and I get that aspect of it, but I want to know the world a little bit more. How this world works, why is the world like this way, and then dive into Harley a little bit more, or just create a fine balance there. And that was my issue with the book, because it was just like, the world that you're showing me with like these weird squids and these monsters that shoot out of cannons and stuff like that, I'm not interested in that stuff. I want to know about the villains. So I thought this book was okay, but it didn't blow me out of the water. And again, in many ways, Harley Quinn is like Deadpool, and I'm not a huge Deadpool fan either, because I always feel like humor is forced in a lot of the Deadpool books, and it's kind of here in this Harley book. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this book a 3 1/4 out of 5 stars. Just enough interest for me to see what happens in issue 2. So guys, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of Old Lady Harley issue 1. Are you going to read this entirety? What do you think about the concept? Or is this just an old man Logan or Hawkeye ripoff? So again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a single video from me, and of course, check out the videos on the side. And guys, until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spicer signing off. Take care, guys. Bye.